Welcome back to Beast Wars Wednesday. I'm your host, Predacon Paul.
And I am your host, Decepticon Doug. Welcome, everybody,
to our third Halloween special.
So today, we are talking about the quintessential episode of Beast Wars. Other Victories.
And this episode starts with...
Isn't this the one with the... they get into Optimus's body with this... Oh, no.
We didn't watch the episode.
We did... Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Well, this is a little embarrassing.
Okay. Bear with us, please.
Yeah, we're gonna go and we're gonna watch the episode, and then we could catch up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops. All right.
Man, I cannot believe it's been a year since we got trapped in hell and had to play those Beast Wars games.
The year of hell.
It was a nightmare.
Hey,
Well,
how did that Eternal Damnation die work out for you?
I just put the weight back on afterward.
Like getting older,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, it's like that's how it is, you know. These
So you end
bad
the cycle.
diets. Do you think we should keep this in the edit?
Well, it's already there.
I guess so. All right.
Well,
Beast Wars?
Beast Wars. Beasties.
Beasties, Wednesdays.
Beasties!
Oh, wait, what the heck? Where's our DVD go? Ah!
Who are you?
It's me, Mordet of the Depths. I have removed your Beast Wars DVDs and brought them out of sync with your phase of reality. Well, frankly, that's really rude.
And inconvenient.
We got a show to run here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because you killed Mordo of the Deep last year after he made you play those games. Oh, well, well, Mordo, he had it coming. That guy was a jerk. So, yeah, I don't feel bad about it whatsoever.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. Well, anyway, your punishment this year is to read through these Beast Wars comics. And then you will feel true pain. Beast Wars comic books. Right, I think I remember those coming out.
I never even knew they existed. Sure, why not?
Well, let's give it a go. Alright, so we are now officially educated on the Gathering, a Beast Wars story.
Quite the romantic adventure with Razorback there and his good friend Magnetron.
The story begins kind of on Earth. Well, it kind of flips back and forth on Earth. So it seems like it takes place, and as far as the show continuity, right at the end of Changing of the Guard. Sometime between the Predacons getting Sentinel and installing Sentinel. So right in that nice little area right there. So the Predacons that have made their way to Earth is Megatron, not to be confused with Megatron. This one's Magma, like
liquid hot magma.
Transketo, Spitter, Iguanus, Drillbit, Man-Terror, and Razor Beast. And those who are familiar with the toys will probably figure out which one of these doesn't belong here. Or if you also know the formula of bad guy lizard / insect versus good guy mammal, bird, etc., things are going to reveal themselves pretty obviously to you. Because Razor Beast is a warthog. He's a warthog. We discover the big plot underneath it all is Megatron. He is much like Megatron, but not to be confused with Megatron, of course.
He's playing the long game. Megatron's playing the short game.
What his plan is he just wants to gather a really nice, good-sized army to bring back to Cybertron so that he can start the revolution right away.
The revolution has begun.
These Tripredacus guys, they're taking too long.
And you know the thing is, they're taking too long. They didn't print enough flyers.
Even his online campaign, through his YouTube presence is very little. They really need to go out there and promote their material a little bit better.
Start using, Twitter. Twitter's huge. And as long as you use some good key buzzwords and a good few hashtags, Cybertronian Revolution, hashtags down with Maximals.
And honestly, YouTube collaborations go a long way. Gets a lot of like cross subscriptions and stuff like that. Bada bing, you got a good solid fan base, and it only grows from there. Trust me, we know.
So aside from his online game, he's actually quite the planner, because he knows the events that transpired at the beginning of the Beast Wars. The Axelon takes critical damage, the Dark Side takes critical damage, and they both go down. But in doing so, to protect the lives of those Maximals who are in stasis, they're ejected and they're put into a geosynchronous orbit. And in the events of other voices, they all fell. So they're there to scoop up all those yummy Maximal bits and infect them with the Predacon shell program, I guess.
I guess so. He has a way of doing it where he does it en masse. So he doesn't need like tarantulas to go up to each pod and go tick 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 tick, because he doesn't have a tarantulas.
So basically that's the plan.
Yeah.
They want to scoop up and recruit all the Maximals from the Protoforms.
The Predacons who are here on Earth now cannot actually interact with the members of the Beast Wars.
If you want a good visualization, watch the movie Ghost. It's got a young Demi Moore and a young Patrick Swayze and a clay pottery scene. What more do you want?
Yeah, basically the same thing. Only with depth charge instead of Demi Moore. Because, depth charge comes out of the water. I think it's Drillbit. He's like, oh, can I kill him? Can I kill him? As if he could. As if he could take on depth charge. Megatron's like, shh, no, he can't see us. We're out of phase with the rest of the Beast Wars. And Drillbit's like, wait, do you mean like Geordi and Ro Laren in that episode? And then Megatron's like, just like that.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
It's nothing like the movie Ghost.
And I ain't doing no clay pottery scene with no depth charge.
And that's final.
But there is a wrench thrown into the plan, which is a member of a secret Maximal Strike team.
It's like an Infiltration Strike team thing.
And it's led by a character named Leo Convoy.
He looks really cool.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, dude, you know what you should do? You should get in there. But once you do, you're on your own. And we're going to disavow you if you get caught. So we don't know who you are, but good luck.
If they offer you drugs, you got to do it. If you got to kill somebody, maybe a cop, you got to do that too. Because it's all about the big picture here.
You got to get in there deep, but not too deep, so you forget who you are. As Megatron is like, okay, let's get these stasis pods. And then Razorbeast is like, yeah, no problem. It's just going to take me a little while.
If they had Hackerman, this would have been no problem.
Yeah, Hackerman had to stay behind on Cybertron because he's the one who hacked them back in time.
That's right.
Yeah, so he couldn't go back with them.
That's right.
Yeah,
okay.
So
Oh no.
finally, Razorbeast's time is up. He has to send out the program that turns all the Maximals into Predacons. But, Retrax comes out, a Predacon. And Snapper comes out, a Predacon. And Jetstorm comes out, a Predacon. Spitter, the frog, reports, hey, wait a second. This insect is strangely fuzzy and bear-shaped. Oh no, it's a Maximal!
And he's all like, I'm a bear.
This is his polar claw, and would you believe the giant polar bear outmatches the frog? Megatron is like, what happened?
Whoa.
And Razorbeast is like, wasn't me. Then he transforms into beast mode, slams into Drillbit Taylor, and books it. Megatron is like, oh, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that pesky Razorbeast. So Razorbeast puts out this little beacon thing and summons as many Maximals as he can because he managed to get a good percentage of the stasis pods to have Maximals emerge rather than the Predacons. Mm-hmm. So he tries to send out a beacon to bring them to him, and he can have his own little team, his own squad. And so he does wind up meeting up with Wolfang, Baboom, Bone Crusher, Ramulus, Snarl, and Optimus Minor. You know what? Sometimes you just need a little Optimus there with you.
Optimus Minor is like the Robin.
So Razorbeast kind of knows the plan of what Megatron wants to do, and he needs to get back in touch with Cybertron to say like, hey, I did stuff. So they need to find a transwarp amplifier so that they can send a message through space and time back to Cybertron. But the only one that they have any access to is
some reason still intact,
Ravage's ship. Intact is too strong a word. Or too strong a pairing of words, I should say. Because it really isn't that intact. It's barely together. But It definitely
tapped.
it's in better shape than we would have guessed, given what happened to it back in the agenda. It went boom. After it went boom again from the missile that it launched.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of boom.
That was impressive.
It was a lot of boom. The Maximals find their way into a canyon.
All the while, Baboom is like, yo, dog, I ain't trust you. You smell like a stinking pred.
Once a pred, always a pred.
We don't have time for this stuff. We gotta go to work and do things. And Baboom's like, you know what? I trust you. And that's the end of that conflict.
Well, I guess because another conflict starts, and that is that Megatron has, in his beast mode is not quite the right term, his beast modes, because he turns into 3 different dinosaurs.
Which is really cool.
He messes up Baboom pretty good, and Razor Beast winds up saving him, and saving the day. And so it's like, at that point, it's like, well, if you can't trust him now, when can you trust him? So Megatron is buried under a bunch of rocks, because, yeah, he shot up, and shooting up is something that he wasn't expecting. Meanwhile, Optimus Minor has been looking through Ravage's ship, and he's like, okay, where's the thing I'm looking for?
And he was like, oh, here's the thing! And then somebody behind him is like, hey, thank you for finding it. I'm going to take it because I'm a bigger thing than you.
It's Drillbit. And now I'm going to drill your face! So Snarl has this ability where he can turn invisible. I don't know why, but it comes in handy a lot.
It's awesome.
He appears behind Drillbit.
And you know what he doesn't do?
He doesn't give his position away. No one-liner.
He just shoots him.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't Beast Wars.
Yeah, what? Optimus Minor's like, hey, thanks, Snarl. And Snarl's like, hey, no problem. The Maximals are back at their little base. It's just kind of a cave. They haven't really had a chance to establish anything firm. They're like, so this amplifier is broken.
And it requires components that they don't have access to because reality check, there's no Radio Shack down the road. It's just a 7-Eleven and a Mega Shakes.
Yeah, yes, and they can't even get a Mega Shake because they're in a different phase. This particular group of Maximals stroll past the Maximals of the show.
So when we say the Maximals, we're talking about these Maximals.
We're talking about the Razor Beast Maximals. His pack of
Misfits.
his little band of misfits. And they just stroll right by the other Maximals. They're like, wow, it's weird that they can't see us. Because they're making their way to the Ark to get some of the technology from the Ark.
Because if they take technology from the Maximals, then they're going to be messing with time.
Even though taking stuff from the Ark is also messing with time, I guess.
I would say that is messing with time to a greater degree because these guys are closer to your chronological time, and messing with the Ark, it's like literally millions of years before that. So like, what the heck, you guys?
The Predacons are now on a maximal hunt because there's tons of these Predacons now.
And what do they come across? A dark and dungeony looking Dagobah system.
Yeah, there's a swamp that they're just like, this is cool, guys. Yeah.
I wouldn't build a summer home here, but it's pretty nice. And what do they come across? An owl. And that owl turns into a polar bear. And the polar bear's like, I'm a mutant. You're not a mutant. I don't care if you're a maximal Predacon. I'm gonna eat your face. And then he like destroys one of them. So the other two were like, they noped the F out of there. Like, did you see anything?
I didn't see anything. It's cool. No Maximals here. Let's
Let's get out of here.
Let's never reference this ever again.
Is that really what happens?
Yeah.
That's a friggin' shame.
Yeah.
So they definitely have breast cancer, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
It is it's a wasted opportunity because they ask so many questions like, what is going on there? Now things have taken a little longer than Megatron wanted, and so he's like, okay, I've got to buy some time for the Tripredacus Council at home. I got to basically fulfill my mission, the mission that they gave me, so that I can fulfill the mission that I gave me without them bugging me. I guess I got to go get Megatron
Because I'm running out of time here.
Yeah, so
Which doesn't make any friggin' sense.
we don't have time to talk about time.
We don't have the time. You have a time machine, which means you can literally go whenever you want.
Yeah, literally. You don't have to just go whenever you want, but you can go to whenever you want. That's how it works. It's a time machine.
So why not just like zap in there the moment you leave and you're like, hey, I got the job done.
I don't think that Megatron is a Trekkie, or has even seen Back to the Future.
I don't think he has.
No, I think he's thinking very two-dimensionally, or three-dimensionally.
He's two-dimensional in a three-dimensional universe.
Yeah,
But that's what happens when you're in a comic book.
exactly.
Based off of a...
Based off of a character. But anyways, so he goes and he gets Megatron, and Megatron knows who he is right away.
The second he sees him, he's like, whoa, threat established, bam, and he hits him, knocks him down.
Yeah,
He's
they're
like-
not friends, apparently.
No.
It establishes that apparently Megatron is a general. He's the kind of guy that Megatron has been rebelling against this whole time.
Not really realizing that they have the same goal. What's interesting in this that we mentioned earlier is that Magmatron actually has like a sense of respect for what Megatron's trying to do because their ideologies are the same. Yet, you know, at this time, Megatron is just a means to an end for him. He's like, I need you to present to the council.
Yep, basically.
And that's it. But you know what? In the new Predacon order, you're gonna be my friend. The second you turn your back on him in that new Predacon world, you're dead. Megatron will kill you.
He has no interest in having anyone who's his equal around.
Nope.
They're actually pretty evenly matched, except Megatron has his buddies who, up until a few seconds ago, were invisible, and they neutralize Megatron by giving him the old taser in the back. He takes Megatron out of sync with the rest of the Beast Wars. Even Inferno's like, blah! Where's the royalty? But, you know, Megatron still has this problem about all those Maximals being out there, but he has a solution. Megatron's minions bring him pieces of Ravage, who, you know, was still fairly recently scrapped from the agenda. And then they're like, hey, look, I found his little spark. Look at it, it's still alive. Yeah.
Which lends to the idea that Predacons don't die.
Yeah, it's true, though. They keep going and going and going. The Energizer Bunny is a Predacon. So basically, they give Ravage a brand new body. Half Transmetal 2 Cheetor, half Terminator.
They didn't have the soccer ball. What the hell? How could they make a Transmetal 2 without the soccer ball?
Well, there's a few Transmetal 2 characters in here that they don't have the soccer ball for. It's one of those.
Blasphemy!
Yeah, it's one of those things that doesn't quite fit. Ramulus and Optimus Minor are Transmetal 2s. But that's not really addressed. I guess they're kind of hoping you won't ask those questions.
Well, we did. Your move, Beast Wars.
So Ravage sends a group of Predacons to find the remaining Maximals, because that's what his job is. And Ravage is like, hey, why not? I'm alive, I may as well.
I am a
Let's go kill
deadly
Maximals.
assassin. I like to shoot guns out of hands. I can cloak. I like vodka. Let's do this.
Optimus Minor and Razor Beast are on a mission to get Megatron back, while the other Maximals remain at their base. They're going to try and send out the signal to Cybertron.
So they've already got the pieces that they need from the Ark.
Yeah.
And now they need to hodgepodge and cobble together the pieces so that way they can at least get a 4-second message. Predacons! Planet! Bad! Send help!
Maybe Cybertron will get it. Maybe they won't. Who knows? Razor Beast and Optimus Minor are looking at the situation. Megatron has Megatron on this sort of warp thing that's going to send him back to Cybertron. And they're like, how are we going to figure this out? What are we going to do? I don't know.
What we need is a distraction.
A distraction comes. And it is none other than...
Me, Grimlock!
It is the Grimlock who participated
In the Great War!
and even helped fight Unicron himself.
No problem is too big for this dumb Maximal's big heart.
So Grimlock apparently was on the Axelon and was in the stasis pod. There is the reference of Grimlock in the toys, obviously because a lot of this pulls from the toys. There was a repaint of Dinobot that was called Grimlock. And I don't know if it was supposed to be that Grimlock, but in the comic they made it that Grimlock. So hey, why not? And so he fights Megatron and it goes on for quite a while. And I think he stomps out some of the other Predacons too.
He does.
But Grimlock gets beat by Megatron after a little while. He just falls over, but it's enough time that Razor Beast is able to come and say like, hey, Megatron, fight me. And Megatron's like, oh, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. Mm-hmm. You and your treacherous maximal butt. Razor Beast is phasing in and out so that Megatron can't even get that hit on him.
Those extra few thousand pounds he has of strength and... Strength? Means nothing when you can't hit your opponent. Ravage has found them. And he's like, do not be destroying them. Simply report them to me so that I can deal with them myself. And then his little cronies find him. And they're like, yo, we found him. And he's like, good. Now lure them out so we can take them on together.
He just wants to fight them all together. And he just wants to do it as one big happy Predacon family.
And they start shooting at the cave.
So the Maximal's like, well, I guess we gotta go fight. Otherwise we're gonna get buried in here and that sucks.
And he's like, you know what? You get out there and you fight while I send the signal. And they're like, cool.
Do it.
You stay here and hide. But the thing's gonna collapse. He's like, do it! And they're like, okay, and then they leave, and then they start shooting. And the battle ensues in a way that they're being herded until finally they're surrounded by everyone. And Ravage is like, oh, my plan worked.
Finally, you're surrounded. You know all those other Maximals that were out there? They found each other, and then they found this group of Maxis.
They waited until the last possible second. They were like, should we go now? No, wait.
No,
wait until they're really screwed.
Maximum drama, guys. Maximum drama. Boom! In come all the Maximals, including this big guy named Torka, who's way too big. He's got to be like half killer whale, half woolly mammoth. And then there's Polar Claw and Cyber Shark and all these other guys, and they just beating all these Predacons up. And don't forget Airhammer.
Hey, Airhammer.
Airhammer, we saw you in here, buddy.
Hey.
Yeah, we know it was you. Then there's all the Predacons like, ooh, ow, ooh, ow, ooh, ow. Ooh, owie, ow, ooh, ooh. And they got beat up and they run away. Optimus Minor jumps down. He throws a monkey wrench in his plans. Megatron's knocked off of the transporter thing. Megatron's like, hey, don't do that. And he winds up like on the transporter thing. He gets transported, but also he's not transported back to Cybertron. He's sort of taken out of, I don't know, out of space and time. He's just gone. He's gone. He's a goner. Bye, Megatron. The Predacons are scattered. The Maximals are kind of united. They're like, hey, look at us, a big group of happy Maximals.
We're all friends.
We're all friends here. Hey, we did send out that signal to Cybertron, but we don't know if they're going to get it. I guess we'll never know unless they come, and then we will. And it was called the Beast Wars. Whoa! Predacon Paul, what did you think of The Gathering?
I thought it was quicker to read than it was to get through on this episode.
Honestly, like I thought it was pretty good. I like that it brings the Beast Wars universe into the rest of the Transformers universe a bit more. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the stuff that we liked about the Agenda and Possession and all those ones that kind of like grew the mythos a bit. And this does it even more so.
Yeah.
Also answers those questions about like, what about all those other stasis pods, guys? Huh?
Yeah. You know, like we did have that episode where we talked about, you know, just what happened to them. We finally get that closure because, like, I mean, the story's not over yet, but now I know that the stasis pods weren't just left there at the end.
I guess it was one of those cases where the writer was like, hey, this is a question that was unanswered. And Simon Furman, who writes a lot of Transformers stuff, I guess he was like, oh, maybe I can answer these questions. And he came up with actually a pretty decent story that didn't interfere with anything in the series.
He even makes a point to make sure that they can't physically interfere as per their mandate, right?
I think it's pretty clever. I think Megatron is a good villain. I think they probably should have come up with a different name for him so he didn't sound so much like Megatron, but it's not the worst.
It kind of makes me think there's an Optimus lineage, and there's something heroic and almost incorruptible about an Optimus. Well, in this case, a Megatron or a Tron Mega something in that range might just be from like a certain bloodline or lineage of Transformers that has the potential for greatness and has grander ideas and is much more ambitious,
right?
And thinks outside of the normal, the accepted realm of thinking.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I also kind of like that they brought back Ravage. I think we were kind of upset that Ravage was sort of casually discarded.
Yeah, he was just like, motherland, and then he like blows up.
And he's a team player. He just jumps right in. He's like, okay, we'll let us kill Maximals. I'm game.
Yeah. You want to kill Maximals? You're Predacons. I used to be Decepticon. I'm Predacon.
I go renegade here. I go renegade there. I go renegade everywhere. Why not? So yeah, and the new design, it works for him. It's a little bit
Cheetorish.
It's a little bit Cheetorish, but I don't mind it. What else worked for you?
The art style.
Oh yeah, the art's great. I think it looks really good. Seeing some of the 3D characters from the show moved into the
2D realm.
The loyalty to the designs of the characters from the toys. For people who love the toys, this is almost like porn for them. Because they're like all these characters that they never got their time in the show, which I found a few disappointing back when I was a kid. People who had more toys than me, and there were definitely people who had way more toys than me, were probably just loving every minute of this. You could go like, oh, it's that guy! Oh, it's that guy! Oh, it's that guy! Although downside is the uninitiated, those who didn't have the toys, it's a huge amount of characters just thrown at you. And
yeah, there's this one panel, which you like, it's almost too much for me.
Well, that's the thing, is that I think it looks great, but I couldn't even begin to tell you like half those character names. For Transformer fans, people who really love those toys, right up their alley. This maybe fixes a bit of a plot hole that we had from the Agenda, where a satellite blows up and blocks the signal from Cybertron. Some Maximals must have known.
Yeah.
And so they sent a unit to infiltrate Megatron to get back and do their thing. So that means it's okay. It is nice that there's some maximal intelligence in the maximal camp after all.
Yeah. And actually, another thing that I like, speaking of intelligence, is the fact that the general dislike for the Tripredacus Council and their kowtowing and their bootlicking is something that is shared by more Predacons than just Megatron and his rogue group. It seemed like kind of a small group of people to steal like a warship and then try to change history.
It kind of makes you think that maybe somebody looked the other way. So like they see Megatron as guys going to steal the dark side, and they're like, sure.
Is that Haley's comment?
And in some ways that kind of makes sense. You know how everyone's frustrated with politicians and the decision makers. The Tripredacus Council, they're the politicians and the decision makers of the Predacons. Nobody's happy with it. Kind of realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you didn't like about the comics?
Yeah. It's one of the things that I simultaneously really like.
What's that?
The mutants.
Oh, yeah.
They've been mutants for like 5 minutes. And they're like, this is a mutant-only zone. It's like, okay, so actually that asks the question, why were these Transformers affected in a way that only, like if it is a localized group and they just found each other, and they're like, you're weird, oh hey, let's be friends, and let's hate everybody else. Fine. I guess so, but they made the decision, like they sat down over like a campfire and like just decided, you know what? Since we're all freaks, let's just make it a freak-only club. None of that's explained, and they definitely rush into it.
And then it's never referenced again. It's one of those things where it's like, what was the point? It feels like it was asking all these questions, but not providing any answers. I feel the same way. It's like, it's intriguing, but there's not nearly enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing to sink your teeth into. And one of the problems I have is that there's so many characters. The story moves at a very brisk pace, so you don't really get a great sense of who the characters are.
Or what they can do.
You get a little bit, I think best established is Megatron, Razor Beast, maybe Optimus Minor and Baboom a little bit. But you don't really get a good sense of the characters other than how they look. And I think you sort of project a little bit of what you've imagined these characters to be when you were playing with your toys a little bit onto these characters. But like, what's Transkeeto's, his main characteristic? Is that he, instead of S's, he has Z's? You know?
Yeah. Beast Wars' biggest strength, especially in the first season, is the fact that they only had so many characters. They had a limited budget and a limited time to get things done. So they could only do so many characters. They could only render so many characters. What you gained with it was that the story writers were like, okay, we've got this group of characters on this side, we've got this group of characters on this side. Now each character is unique. They've got unique abilities, and they've all got unique strengths and unique weaknesses. So, like, with that being said, you've got at least 2 or 3 dozen characters that we've been introduced to in just 4 comics, which would be the equivalent of 4 episodes. There's not nearly enough time to get into all those characters. Yeah.
At least they did try and keep it to a core group, and then they just threw all the characters at you at the end as sort of like a final, like, woo! Party down! They tried their best, but I think when it comes down to it, 4 issues is just not enough to get that kind of character development. To some degree, that's just how it is, and that's just how it has to be. But I do kind of wish that we could see a little bit more variety in what the characters are like.
I mean, at the very least, they were able to address the fact that almost all the stasis pods now are accounted for. I mean, eventually, they're all either going to have to go back to Cybertron or they're all going to die in this Beast Wars, so...
Yeah, I'm actually kind of pleased with the story. I liked it.
I did too.
Yeah.
I liked it. It seemed like a plausible Beast Wars story.
But like a different brand of Beast Wars. So we have decided to give Beast Wars The Gathering 4 out of 5 broken transwarp amplifiers. So all in all, actually a pretty cool Beast Wars story. It operates mostly separately from the series, but actually kind of works itself into the series a little bit too. Yeah, I thought it was all in all pretty cool Beast Wars expansion pack, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what did you think of Beast Wars The Gathering? Please let us know in the comments down below, and let's chat about it. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, and as always, tell your mom. Hey!
Or Dad!
Those were pretty awesome.
Thanks for the recommendation. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Wait a minute. You mean you actually liked them?
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, did you not read them before you gave them to us for punishment?
Truth is, I cannot read. I am a ghost, remember?
Right, okay, because literacy back in the day wasn't what it is. Yeah,
so much
okay.
sense.
Okay.
How did you even know what a comic book was then?
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Do you want your DVDs or not?
Oh, yes, please.
Yes.
Gotta get our show on the road.
Well, you can have them back. From the depths of hell!
Oh, you sound like Cheetor.
Thank you, I've been working on that for a long time.
Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute.
We're in hell.
Not again.
Oh no, the portal's closing. We gotta find those DVDs quick.
Okay.
I'm getting too old for this.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
As I, Satan, and I am a huge fan of your show. I love Beast Wars Wednesday.
Oh, you like the
hey.
show? Hey, yeah.
Thanks. Always good to meet a fan.
I especially love last year's episode when he told those funny Halloween jokes. Tell me a joke.
Okay.
Well, not really that easy to just
I mean, you
come
know,
up.
these things, they just have to come to us naturally, right? You know?
We could find a joke on Google.
Yeah, that's...
Would that work?
Is that...
No Wi-Fi.
Oh,
that's
stupid
right.
internet. Oh, yeah.
I know why you've come.
The Beast Wars DVDs.
Yeah. Or Blu-rays if you've got them.
Don't push your luck.
Could we, I don't know, like get like 1 billion subscribers?
Sure.
Oh, come on. These guys are gonna be flagged as bots in no time.
What are you talking about? They love your show.
Oh, yeah. but,
Because they're told to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just take the DVDs then. Oh. So, how do we get back?
It's not so simple. A penance must be exacted.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
Oh no! I'm a skeleton again!
Not again! Every bloody year!
Every time! At least we're not playing those stupid games.
Yeah, good one. Well, I guess we should go finish our review.
That's true! Back to the cave.
Here we are again,
Yep,
just like every year.
every year.
Why did the ghost go into the bar?
Tell me.
For the booze.
Hey, Predacon Paul,
Yes, Decepticon Doug?
which monster is the best dancer?
I don't know.
The Boogeyman!
What is a mummy's favorite type of music?
I don't know.
Rap!
Thank you for watching this very special episode of Beast Wars Wednesday.
Beast Wars Wednesday.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Tell us what you think of The Gathering.
Together.
And don't forget...
Tell your mother.
Predacon Paul!
Decepticon Doug.
I think we're skeletons again.
Ah!
I'm in frame.
Oh, so was I. My thing came off.